Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth, while others struggle their entire lives, despite working twice as hard? What if I told you there exists a hidden knowledge, a forbidden wisdom, that has been deliberately kept from the masses, not because it's dangerous, but because its power is so transformative that only those who are truly ready can harness it? Has this ever happened to you? You've done everything right. Worked hard, saved money, followed conventional wisdom, yet abundance seems to dance just beyond your reach, as if there's an invisible barrier between you and the prosperity you deserve. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey through what I call the 5-day revelation, an ancient wisdom that reveals itself exactly 5 days before money begins to chase you like a living magnet. Yes, you heard that correctly. Not you chasing money, but money chasing you. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely transform how you view abundance and the invisible laws that govern it. Imagine walking down a dark corridor where, at the end, there's a door. But not just any door. A door that only opens for those who have prepared themselves mentally and spiritually. Behind this door lies a book containing wisdom so profound that those who truly grasp its message never see the world the same way again. Their relationship with money fundamentally shifts from one of lack and struggle to one of natural, effortless attraction. This isn't about get-rich-quick schemes or manipulative tactics. What I'm sharing is about awakening something that has always been dormant within you, an invisible magnet, a flame of prosperity that never truly extinguishes, even in your darkest financial moments. What you're about to discover might surprise you, because contrary to what we've been taught, abundance isn't something we need to chase desperately. It's something we learn to attract by changing our internal vibration, by becoming a living magnet that the universe cannot resist responding to. Now, let me ask you something deeply personal. What if everything you believed about wealth creation was actually keeping wealth away from you? What if the very thoughts you think each day are creating an energetic barrier that money cannot penetrate? The first chapter of this forbidden knowledge begins with understanding something crucial about the nature of abundance itself. The first chapter of this forbidden knowledge begins with understanding something crucial about the nature of abundance itself. It responds to declaration. You see, the universe operates on a principle of recognition. It acknowledges those who acknowledge it first. This is why the ancient practitioners of this wisdom always began their journey with a clear, unambiguous declaration of intent. When you openly state, "I am ready to receive," you're not just saying empty words, you're creating a vibrational signature that ripples through the fabric of reality itself. Think of it as signing your name on a cosmic contract. The journey toward transformation begins not when abundance decides to find you, but the moment you declare yourself open to receiving it. Subscribe now to unlock more of these ancient secrets that have been hidden from the masses. Join our community of abundance creators today. This revelation often contradicts everything we've been taught about wealth creation. The hidden truth is that success leaves clues, but they're rarely the ones society points to. Your declaration acts as a beacon in the darkness, signaling to the universe that you're no longer playing by the old rules of scarcity and struggle. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic. After your declaration, something remarkable begins to happen. Many describe it as a strange vibration in the air, a subtle shift in how reality responds to you. This is what I call the first sign, and it's the universe's way of acknowledging your new mindset. You might notice unexpected coincidences, small windfalls, or ideas that seem to appear from nowhere. This is where the journey truly begins to impact every aspect of your life. The revelation that changes everything is this: money isn't something to be chased frantically like a hunter pursuing elusive prey. Instead, it behaves more like metal responding to a powerful magnet. Your mind, specifically your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional state, is that magnet. When most people struggle financially, they're unknowingly repelling what they most desire. They've been programmed with a mindset of pursuit rather than attraction. The decisions you make in each moment either strengthen or weaken your magnetic field. Each worried thought about lack pushes money further away. Each confident certainty of abundance draws it closer. What's fascinating about this hidden system is how it operates completely outside the realm of visible effort. You could be sleeping, and your magnetic field continues working tirelessly, drawing opportunities toward you like an invisible force arranging the chess pieces of your life. The most profound revelations often come disguised as the simplest truths. Your mindset creates your reality, not someday in the distant future, but in real time, moment by moment. The magnetism begins inside you before manifesting in your external circumstances. If this concept resonates with what you've been experiencing in your own life, write in the comments, "I activate my magnet today." Now, let me share what happens when you begin to understand the invisible mirror that reflects your internal state. Now, let me share what happens when you begin to understand the invisible mirror that reflects your internal state. The most revolutionary aspect of this forbidden knowledge is that it completely inverts how we've been taught to pursue prosperity. Most people have been conditioned to believe that abundance requires constant struggle, exhausting effort, painful sacrifice, and relentless hustle. They become hunters, chasing an elusive prey that always seems to stay one step ahead. But what if I told you that inside each of us exists an invisible magnet that, once activated, draws wealth toward us without the desperate chase? This isn't mystical thinking. It's an ancient understanding of energy dynamics that modern quantum physics is only beginning to validate. The universe responds not to your physical actions alone, but to the energetic signature you emit. Think about two magnets facing each other. One vibrates with powerful energy, pulling everything metallic toward it effortlessly. The other, weakened and depleted, barely attracts anything at all. People function in precisely the same way. Some individuals attract opportunities without searching for them, while others pursue endlessly yet return empty-handed. The revelation here isn't about luck or privilege. It's about the internal magnetic field you've cultivated, often unconsciously. What activates this inner magnet? Here's where the journey toward transformation truly begins. The quality of your attention determines the quality of your energy, and where your energy flows, reality follows. This fundamental principle governs everything in your life. What you consistently focus on expands. When you place your attention on lack, on what's missing, on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you unconsciously create a field that attracts more of the same. The hidden truth that few discover is that thoughts aren't just fleeting mental images, they're energetic broadcasts. Each thought of scarcity, doubt, or fear opens what the ancients called an abyss, a void that pulls you deeper into limitation. Conversely, each thought of abundance, confidence, and possibility opens a doorway through which prosperity can flow. Behind the scenes of your visible life, this invisible dynamic plays out constantly. Your mind is quite literally the cradle where abundance rests before manifesting in physical form. This revelation often creates a profound paradigm shift for those who truly grasp it. The realization that we've been taught to pursue wealth in precisely the wrong way, through external striving rather than internal alignment. Let me offer you a powerful contemplation exercise that illustrates this principle. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a golden river flowing not toward your life from outside, but from within you outward into the world. Feel this river, which has always existed beneath the fog of doubt, beginning to move. The blockage isn't in the external world. It's in our perception that abundance is somewhere out there rather than emanating from within. The impact of this shift in awareness cannot be overstated. When you recognize that the magnetic force of attraction begins inside you, you stop exhausting yourself, chasing what has been trying to reach you all along. You realize that abundance isn't earned through struggle, but allowed through alignment. This doesn't mean you won't take inspired action. Rather, it means your actions will come from a completely different place, not from desperation, but from connection to source, not from lack, but from fullness, not from fear, but from certainty. The inner magnet awakens when you shift from I need to I am, from I want to I have, from someday to now. This subtle yet profound mindset transformation changes everything because it alters the energetic frequency you broadcast to the universe. If you're beginning to feel a resonance with this wisdom, write in the comments, I activate my inner magnet. Now, let's explore how this invisible mirror of prosperity reflects back exactly what you project into it. Now let's explore how this invisible mirror of prosperity reflects back exactly what you project into it. Have you ever stood before a mirror and noticed how perfectly it captures your every movement? It doesn't judge or correct, it simply reflects with absolute precision. The Forbidden Book reveals that reality functions in precisely the same way, operating as an invisible mirror that reflects your internal state, in the form of tangible circumstances. This revelation is perhaps the most profound transformation in consciousness that one can experience on the path to abundance. Most people approach wealth creation backward. They believe that once they have money, then they'll feel abundant. Once they achieve success, then they'll feel worthy. Once they reach their goals, then they'll feel secure. But the mirror principle inverts this entirely. Look at this carefully. The mirror doesn't create the image. It reflects what already exists. Similarly, your external reality cannot manifest what hasn't first been established within your consciousness. This is where most seekers of prosperity stumble. They want to see wealth in the mirror of life without having first planted it in their internal garden. Imagine someone approaching a mirror with a frown, yet expecting to see a smile reflected back. It's an impossibility, isn't it? Yet this is precisely how many approach abundance. They project doubt, fear, and scarcity internally, while hoping to see prosperity reflected externally. The mirror cannot lie. It can only return what you present to it. Don't miss a single revelation. Hit subscribe and become part of a movement that's rediscovering these powerful manifestation principles. The hidden truth revealed by ancient wisdom keepers is this: you must become wealthy in consciousness before you can be wealthy in circumstance. This isn't positive thinking or wishful fantasy. It's acknowledging the precise mechanism by which reality operates. When you truly understand this principle, a remarkable shift occurs in your journey. You stop chasing external validation and begin the more powerful work of internal transformation. So how do we activate this mirror of abundance? The process begins with a revolutionary practice. You must declare and feel, I already am wealth, and I already am abundance, before any physical evidence supports these claims. This isn't delusion, it's understanding the sequential nature of manifestation. The internal always precedes the external. Close your eyes for a moment and try this powerful exercise. Breathe deeply and say to yourself, not as a question or a hope, but as a recognition of what already exists. I already am wealth. I already am abundance. Say it with the same certainty with which you would state your name. Notice how different this feels from pleading or wishing. You're not asking for abundance to come, you're acknowledging its presence within you now. The insight at the core of this practice is that abundance isn't something you acquire, it's something you uncover. It's your natural state, obscured perhaps by years of contrary programming, but ever present beneath the surface. When you make these declarations, you're not creating something new, you're returning to your original blueprint. This revelation shifts everything about how you approach prosperity. You no longer operate from a mindset of lack, constantly trying to fill a perceived hole. Instead, you function from fullness, allowing your already present abundance to flow outward and manifest in visible form. The mirror simply cannot help but reflect this back to you. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this is how the wealthy have always created wealth, not through desperate action, but through aligned identity. They don't chase money, they embody prosperity consciousness first, and their external actions naturally flow from this internal state. The practice seems deceptively simple, yet its impact is profound. Each time you declare, "I already am abundance," you're polishing the mirror, removing the fog of doubt that has obscured your reflection. And as the mirror clears, what you've always been begins to shine through with increasing clarity. If you're beginning to see how this mirror principle has been operating in your own life, write in the comments, "I activate the mirror of abundance." Now, let me reveal how your emotional state acts as the catalyst that supercharges this entire process. Now, let me reveal how your emotional state acts as the catalyst that supercharges this entire process. The Forbidden Book reveals a fascinating mechanism operating behind the scenes of manifestation. An invisible magnet, residing not in the earth or in metal, but within the landscape of your own mind. This hidden force field attracts either wealth or poverty, depending entirely on how you've charged it through your consistent thoughts and emotions. This revelation transcends typical advice about positive thinking because it explains the precise mechanism through which your consciousness creates your circumstances. Your country of origin, personal history, educational background, and current age are all secondary to what you consistently imprint on this invisible magnetic field. The blueprint of your reality is being drawn by this internal magnet every moment of every day. Imagine two magnets placed side by side. One vibrates with powerful energy, pulling everything metallic toward it with irresistible force. The other, weakened and depleted, barely registers any attraction at all. This simple metaphor perfectly illustrates why some people seem to effortlessly draw opportunities into their orbit, while others chase endlessly, yet return empty-handed. The difference isn't external circumstance, but internal charge. The ancient wisdom keepers understood what quantum physics now confirms, that thoughts and emotions create measurable energetic fields that extend beyond the physical body. Each thought acts as an electrical spark, while each emotion functions as a magnetic pulse. Together, they feed what the manuscript calls the magnet of your being. This profound insight transforms your relationship with your inner world because it reveals that nothing is neutral. Every thought either strengthens or weakens your magnetic pull. When you consistently focus on scarcity, doubt, or fear, you're unknowingly charging your magnet with a repulsive force. Without realizing it, you're pushing away the very abundance you seek to attract. Conversely, when your mental landscape is dominated by thoughts of wealth, gratitude, and unwavering certainty, your magnetic field lights up with an irresistible pull that begins moving financial opportunities toward you. This revelation offers both liberation and responsibility. The liberation comes from recognizing that external forces aren't controlling your financial destiny, your own magnetic field is. The responsibility emerges from acknowledging that this field is constantly being charged by your moment-to-moment mental and emotional state. The Forbidden Book makes this startlingly clear. Your internal magnet never switches off. It's always either attracting or repelling. The journey toward transformation requires honest self-reflection. What is your magnet currently attracting? Look at your life circumstances right now, your accounts, income streams, opportunities, financial challenges. These aren't random occurrences but perfect reflections of how you've been charging your internal magnet. This isn't punishment or reward. It's simply energetic science in action. Behind the scenes of manifestation, there's a crucial distinction that separates those who master abundance from those who merely wish for it. Your magnet doesn't activate with lukewarm desires or intellectual concepts. It responds to emotion, deep, resonant, authentic feeling. Cold thought carries minimal magnetic charge, but a thought infused with genuine emotion becomes a vibrant command that the universe cannot ignore. This explains why simply declaring, "I want money," rarely creates meaningful change. The statement lacks emotional voltage. But when you can see, feel, breathe, and express gratitude for prosperity as if it already surrounds you, even before physical evidence appears, your magnetic field surges with irresistible power. Try this transformative exercise. Close your eyes and visualize a gentle rain of currency falling all around you. Allow yourself to fully experience the sensation, the soft sound of bills floating down, the fresh scent of new money, the abundance surrounding you completely. Let this imagery fill you with genuine emotion. That feeling you're experiencing, that's your magnet switching on. The insight that many miss is that this process isn't metaphorical. It's an actual energetic shift occurring within your consciousness field. The decisions you make about what to think and feel aren't private or inconsequential. They're broadcasting a frequency that's selecting your experiences with mathematical precision. If you're beginning to recognize how this magnetic principle has been operating in your own life, write in the comments, "I am charging my magnet." Now let me share with you the surprising truth about what actually powers this magnetic field, a revelation that might completely transform your approach to manifestation. Now let me share with you the surprising truth about what actually powers this magnetic field, a revelation that might completely transform your approach to manifestation. The Forbidden Book reveals a counterintuitive insight that challenges conventional understanding. Your magnet doesn't respond primarily to intellectual desire, but to emotional voltage. This revelation explains why countless people visualize, affirm, and declare their intentions, yet see minimal results. They're attempting to manifest from the mind alone, missing the crucial catalyst of deep emotional resonance. Think about the difference between saying, "I want financial freedom," versus feeling the profound relief, joy, and expansion that financial freedom would bring. One is an abstract concept. The other is a lived emotional experience. The universe doesn't respond to your shopping list of desires. It responds to your energetic broadcast, which is primarily emotional in nature. This understanding shifts your entire approach to manifestation. Rather than thinking about money in cold, analytical terms, you must feel its presence in your life. When you can generate genuine emotion around prosperity, as if it were already your reality, you create what the ancient texts call a vibrational order that the universe cannot ignore. Let me offer you a transformative insight. A lukewarm wish carries almost no magnetic charge, but a thought drenched in authentic emotion becomes a command that reshapes reality. This is why simply reciting "I want wealth" rarely creates meaningful change. The statement lacks emotional resonance. But when you can see wealth surrounding you, feel security embracing you, and experience profound gratitude for abundance, even before physical evidence appears, your magnetic field surges with unstoppable power. And here we discover perhaps the most unexpected revelation of all. Gratitude outperforms ambition as an activator of the inner magnet. This counterintuitive truth challenges everything we've been taught about striving and achievement. The Forbidden Book explains that desperate ambition actually vibrates at the frequency of lack, while genuine gratitude resonates in harmony with the universe's natural abundance. This insight transforms your daily practice. Instead of focusing exclusively on what you want to acquire, spend time in profound appreciation for what you already possess, no matter how modest it may seem. Express sincere thanks for each coin, each meal, each opportunity. This vibrational state nourishes your magnetic field far more powerfully than 1,000 anxious desires ever could. Behind the scenes of manifestation, gratitude performs a miraculous alchemy. It shifts your perception from what's missing to what's present, from scarcity to sufficiency. And as your perception shifts, your broadcast changes, causing the universe to respond in kind. The transformation is subtle but profound. People who previously overlooked you begin to seek you out. Ideas that once seemed impossible arrive with perfect timing, and money that once eluded you begins to find its way into your life through unexpected channels. The revelation here isn't that you should be grateful after receiving abundance, but that gratitude itself is the gateway through which abundance enters. This inverts the conventional timeline of manifestation. Most wait to feel grateful until after receiving. The initiate practices gratitude before receiving, knowing it's the very key that unlocks the vault. This practice requires courage because it asks you to feel wealthy before external evidence confirms it. Yet this is precisely the breakthrough moment in your journey. When you can maintain gratitude regardless of current circumstances, you've mastered the emotional frequency that magnetizes prosperity. Try this powerful exercise. Tomorrow morning, before checking your accounts or reviewing your financial obligations, take a moment to close your eyes and sincerely express gratitude for the abundance already flowing into your life. Thank the universe as if your desires have already manifested. Feel the genuine emotion of having received rather than wanting to receive. This isn't pretending. It's aligning with a truth that exists on an energetic level before it materializes in physical form. The impact of this practice compounds over time, gradually replacing anxiety with certainty, lack with fullness, and struggle with flow. You'll begin to notice subtle shifts, synchronicities that seem to guide you toward prosperity, opportunities that arrive with perfect timing, and resources that appear just when needed. If you're ready to practice this powerful form of energetic alignment, write in the comments, "I activate gratitude's power." Now let me reveal how an eternal flame burns within you that can never be extinguished, even in your darkest financial moments. Now let me share with you the surprising truth about what actually powers this magnetic field, a revelation that might completely transform your approach to manifestation. The Forbidden Book reveals a counterintuitive insight that challenges conventional understanding. Your magnet doesn't respond primarily to intellectual desire, but to emotional voltage. This revelation explains why countless people visualize, affirm, and declare their intentions, yet see minimal results. They're attempting to manifest from the mind alone, missing the crucial catalyst of deep emotional resonance. Think about the difference between saying, "I want financial freedom," versus feeling the profound relief, joy, and expansion that financial freedom would bring. One is an abstract concept. The other is a lived emotional experience. The universe doesn't respond to your shopping list of desires. It responds to your energetic broadcast, which is primarily emotional in nature. This understanding shifts your entire approach to manifestation. Rather than thinking about money in cold, analytical terms, you must feel its presence in your life. When you can generate genuine emotion around prosperity, as if it were already your reality, you create what the ancient texts call a vibrational order that the universe cannot ignore. Let me offer you a transformative insight. A lukewarm wish carries almost no magnetic charge, but a thought drenched in authentic emotion becomes a command that reshapes reality. This is why simply reciting, "I want wealth," rarely creates meaningful change. The statement lacks emotional resonance. But when you can see wealth surrounding you, feel security embracing you, and experience profound gratitude for abundance, even before physical evidence appears, your magnetic field surges with unstoppable power. And here we discover perhaps the most unexpected revelation of all. Gratitude outperforms ambition as an activator of the inner magnet. This counterintuitive truth challenges everything we've been taught about striving and achievement. The Forbidden Book explains that desperate ambition actually vibrates at the frequency of lack, while genuine gratitude resonates in harmony with the universe's natural abundance. This insight transforms your daily practice. Instead of focusing exclusively on what you want to acquire, spend time in profound appreciation for what you already possess, no matter how modest it may seem. Express sincere thanks for each coin, each meal, each opportunity. This vibrational state nourishes your magnetic field, far more powerfully than 1,000 anxious desires ever could. Behind the scenes of manifestation, gratitude performs a miraculous alchemy. It shifts your perception from what's missing to what's present, from scarcity to sufficiency. And as your perception shifts, your broadcast changes, causing the universe to respond in kind. The transformation is subtle but profound. People who previously overlooked you begin to seek you out. Ideas that once seemed impossible arrive with perfect timing, and money that once eluded you begins to find its way into your life through unexpected channels. The revelation here isn't that you should be grateful after receiving abundance, but that gratitude itself is the gateway through which abundance enters. This inverts the conventional timeline of manifestation. Most wait to feel grateful until after receiving. The initiate practices gratitude before receiving, knowing it's the very key that unlocks the vault. This practice requires courage, because it asks you to feel wealthy before external evidence confirms it. Yet this is precisely the breakthrough moment in your journey. When you can maintain gratitude regardless of current circumstances, you've mastered the emotional frequency that magnetizes prosperity. Try this powerful exercise. Tomorrow morning, before checking your accounts or reviewing your financial obligations, take a moment to close your eyes and sincerely express gratitude for the abundance already flowing into your life. Thank the universe as if your desires have already manifested. Feel the genuine emotion of having received rather than wanting to receive. This isn't pretending, it's aligning with a truth that exists on an energetic level before it materializes in physical form. The impact of this practice compounds over time, gradually replacing anxiety with certainty, lack with fullness, and struggle with flow. You'll begin to notice subtle shifts, synchronicities that seem to guide you toward prosperity, opportunities that arrive with perfect timing, and resources that appear just when needed. If you're ready to practice this powerful form of energetic alignment, write in the comments, "I activate gratitude's power." Now, let me reveal how an eternal flame burns within you that can never be extinguished, even in your darkest financial moments. Now, let me reveal how an eternal flame burns within you that can never be extinguished, even in your darkest financial moments. The Forbidden Book, reveals a powerful truth that transforms your entire relationship with abundance. Just as a flame illuminates the darkness, your internal light of prosperity repels scarcity when properly nourished. This flame isn't metaphorical. It's an energetic reality that exists within your consciousness field. Think about an actual fire for a moment. When properly fed, it grows stronger, radiating heat and light that pushes back the darkness. When neglected, it dims, but never completely dies out. This perfectly illustrates how your prosperity consciousness operates. Each thought of confidence, each emotion of gratitude acts as fuel, strengthening your internal flame. Conversely, each doubt, each fear, each word of defeat acts as water attempting to diminish your fire. What's remarkable about this revelation is its persistence. The manuscript emphasizes that this flame never truly extinguishes, even when buried beneath years of limiting beliefs, financial setbacks, or apparent failures. It remains ever present, waiting for you to remove the obstacles that have dimmed its light. Imagine a torch in complete darkness. Around it, shadows naturally retreat. This is precisely how your flame functions in the landscape of your life. When you consciously nourish it, scarcity backs away, fear dissolves, and what once seemed impossible begins to reveal itself as entirely within your reach. The transformation doesn't require fighting against darkness, only strengthening your light. This understanding revolutionizes your approach to challenges. Rather than battling against financial problems directly, your journey shifts toward nurturing the flame that naturally dispels them. The insight here is profound. Strong positive belief doesn't just attract positive circumstances. It actively creates a field that repels limiting conditions. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic. The forbidden knowledge introduces another powerful metaphor that works alongside your internal flame, the infinite river of abundance. Imagine a vast, endless river flowing through mountains, cities, and deserts. You cannot see it with physical eyes, but it's always there, running without interruption. This represents the ever-present flow of universal abundance that never dries up, never stops, and never diminishes. Here's the revelation that changes everything. Most people live their entire lives as if they're far from this river's banks, parched, walking on dry sand, desperately seeking water, without realizing the river flows right beside them. The money, opportunities, and prosperity you seek are all waters from this river, and your mind is the channel that either opens or closes access to its current. When you think in terms of scarcity, it's as if you're closing a floodgate. The water hits the barrier and diverts, seeking another path of less resistance. But when you think in abundance, when you express genuine gratitude for what you already have, the gate opens, and the river begins to water your internal fields. The hidden truth unveiled in the manuscript states, no one can possess the river, but everyone can drink from it. This enigmatic phrase contains profound wisdom. Abundance isn't the property of a select few, but an eternal current available to anyone with the courage to approach it. Like trees in a forest that never compete for water but simply drink what they need, the river of wealth doesn't discriminate. It simply follows the channels you either open or block through your vibrational state. This understanding liberates you from the belief in limited resources. The river is infinite. The more you take, the more flows. The more you share, the more it grows. Scarcity is merely an illusion, a mirage created by a mind disconnected from the ever-present current of abundance. The remarkable journey of transformation begins when you stop chasing what you perceive as limited drops and instead connect directly with the source, the river itself. You align your thoughts with abundance rather than lack, you'll notice something extraordinary. The river begins finding ways to reach you, creating unexpected tributaries flowing into your life experience. If you're sensing the truth of this river flowing beside you right now, write in the comments, "I open my channel to the river." Now let me show you how the mirror of gold reflects exactly what you project into it. Now let me show you how the mirror of gold reflects exactly what you project into it. The Forbidden Book reveals another profound dimension of this wisdom. Your mind is the channel, the gateway, that either allows or blocks the river of abundance. This understanding transforms how you approach prosperity entirely. Most see financial struggle as something happening to them from outside, but the hidden truth reveals it's actually happening through them, based on their own internal configurations. Think about actual water channels for a moment. When open and clear, water flows freely. When blocked by debris, even the most powerful river gets diverted or stopped. Your mind operates identically. Thoughts of scarcity, limitation, and fear act as obstructions, invisible dams that prevent the natural flow of abundance. Each time you think, "There's never enough, money is scarce," or "I can't afford what I truly desire," you're placing another stone in the dam, further restricting what could naturally flow toward you. Conversely, thoughts of expansion, possibility, and gratitude clear the channel. They remove obstructions and allow the current to move with its natural force. The revelation that changes everything is this: the river doesn't need to be created. It already exists in perpetual motion. Your only task is to remove the barriers you've unknowingly placed in its path. This insight shifts your entire approach to wealth creation. Instead of exhausting yourself trying to generate abundance from nothing, you simply need to align with the flow that already exists. The transformation happens not through force, but through allowing, not through struggle, but through surrender to a current far more powerful than your individual efforts could ever be. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this principle explains why some people seem to attract prosperity effortlessly, while others work themselves to exhaustion with minimal results. The difference isn't external circumstance or even action. It's internal alignment. Those who prosper have simply learned to keep their channels open, regardless of temporary appearances or challenges. The profound journey toward abundance requires a fundamental shift in perception. Look at nature itself. Have you ever seen trees competing desperately for water? They simply extend their roots and drink what they need. The river doesn't choose which tree receives nourishment. Each tree naturally draws what it requires. This same principle applies to human prosperity. The current doesn't discriminate or judge who is worthy of abundance. It simply flows where resistance is least. This understanding liberates you from the belief that you must struggle against others for limited resources. There is no scarcity in the river. It flows for all, abundantly and eternally. Your perception of limitation exists only in your mind, the very channel you have the power to clear. The revelation that transforms lives is this: you don't need to convince the universe to give you more. You simply need to remove the internal barriers preventing you from receiving what has always been available. This shift from pursuing to allowing, from grasping to opening, changes everything about your relationship with abundance. Try this powerful exercise. Close your eyes and visualize your mind as a channel connecting to this infinite river. See any blocks that might exist, perhaps beliefs about unworthiness, fears about security, or doubts about possibility. Now imagine these obstacles gently dissolving, allowing the golden current to flow freely through you and into every aspect of your life. Feel the sensation of openness, of alignment, of receiving without struggle. This practice isn't just visualization, it's energetic recalibration. Each time you consciously open your channel, you're literally rewiring the neural pathways that determine how abundance manifests in your experience. You're creating new grooves through which prosperity can flow with increasing ease. The decision to align with the river, rather than fight against its current marks a pivotal moment in your journey toward prosperity consciousness. It's the difference between exhaustion and effortlessness, between struggle and synchronicity, between chasing and attracting. If you feel ready to consciously open your channel to the river of abundance, write in the comments, "My channel is open." Now let me reveal how the golden mirror of prosperity shows you not what exists outside, but what you've cultivated within. Now let me reveal how the golden mirror of prosperity shows you not what exists outside, but what you've cultivated within. The Forbidden Book unveils a mysterious symbol that transforms how you perceive reality itself, the mirror of gold. Unlike ordinary mirrors that reflect physical appearances, this special mirror reflects your fortune, your destiny, your relationship with abundance. When you look at life, you don't see what objectively exists. You see what you are inside. If fear dwells within, the mirror faithfully reflects poverty. If certainty resides within, the mirror reflects wealth with equal precision. This revelation challenges the fundamental assumption most people operate under, that we see reality as it is. The hidden truth is that we never see the world as it is. We see it as we are. Your perception is not a passive recording of external facts, but an active projection of your internal state. The universe is essentially a polished crystal that returns only what you cast upon it. Imagine standing before an actual mirror for a moment. If you frown, the reflection frowns. If you smile, it smiles back. There's no judgment, no preference, no manipulation, only perfect, instant reflection. This illustrates precisely how reality functions on an energetic level. Your external world, your financial circumstances, opportunities, relationships with money, is merely the reflection of your internal landscape. Many seekers of prosperity exhaust themselves working physically, chasing wealth as if it were hidden in some distant location. They miss the profound truth that everything begins within. Money is not the cause, but the effect. The cause is your internal reflection, your beliefs, expectations, and emotional relationship with abundance. The manuscript states this principle with striking clarity. Look into the mirror of the soul, and you will see the gold that follows you. This isn't poetic language, but a precise description of the mechanism of manifestation. Your internal state creates a template that reality cannot help but match. The transformation in consciousness this awareness creates is nothing short of revolutionary. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this principle explains why two people can encounter identical circumstances yet experience completely different outcomes. One sees opportunity where another sees obstacle. One experiences expansion where another feels constraint. The difference isn't in the external situation, but in the internal. Reflection each projects onto it. The journey toward mastery requires honest self-reflection. If you don't like what you see in the external mirror of your life, the solution isn't to blame the mirror. It's to change what you're projecting. No one argues with a physical mirror or blames it for showing an unwanted reflection. We simply adjust ourselves. Yet in life, most people fight against their reflections, complaining about debts, cursing the lack of opportunities, criticizing money that doesn't arrive, forgetting that the mirror never lies. It only returns what you project. This understanding liberates you from the cycle of struggle because it places the leverage point precisely where you have control, within your own consciousness. The mirror of gold cannot be manipulated through physical effort alone. It responds to internal images charged with emotion. Each time you express gratitude, you're essentially smiling at the mirror. Each time you envision a prosperous future with certainty, you're polishing the crystal, allowing it to reflect with greater clarity. The manuscript cautions, one who breaks the internal mirror becomes blind to external fortune. This cryptic warning conveys a profound truth. When you neglect your thoughts and emotions, no external circumstances can sustain themselves. External circumstances can sustain themselves. The reflection cannot exist without the object being reflected. Consider this. How often have you sought external solutions without addressing your internal reflection? How many times have you tried to change your financial situation without first transforming your relationship with wealth at the level of consciousness? Today, the mirror returns to you with a revelation. The gold has always been there, waiting only for you to reflect it. Make the mirror your ally. Each morning, look at your physical reflection and declare aloud, I reflect wealth. I reflect power. I reflect abundance. The echo of these words will imprint on your consciousness, gradually reshaping the reflection that reality returns to you. If you're beginning to see how this principle of reflection has been operating in your life, write in the comments, I polish my golden mirror. Now let me reveal how a single word spoken with conviction can detonate a chain reaction of prosperity in your life. Now let me reveal how a single word spoken with conviction can detonate a chain reaction of prosperity in your life. The Forbidden Book unveils a profound truth that reconnects us with ancient wisdom. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was power. This isn't merely poetic language, it's a revelation about the creative force that language carries when charged with certainty. Every manifestation begins with a word pronounced from this place of knowing. This hidden fragment reveals a key that few dare to fully utilize, the power of language as a detonator of abundance. We're not talking about empty phrases or casual conversation, but vibrations that literally command the fabric of reality. When you name what you desire with absolute conviction, you engrave that frequency into the infinite mind that governs everything around us. The secret is both simple and overlooked. What you speak becomes decree. Each word is an energetic seed, and your voice is the water that causes it to grow. Throughout history, those who accumulated vast wealth didn't just think big, they spoke big. They never uttered phrases like, I can't or there isn't enough. Instead, they declared, with authority, this is already mine. Money flows toward me. Opportunities seek me out. Imagine for a moment that each time you speak a word, its echo invisibly travels through both your internal and external world. What are you planting with your lips? Scarcity or prosperity? The manuscript cautions against the negligent use of language because it recognizes that a single word can either open or close the doors of destiny. In ancient traditions, the initiate would maintain complete silence for days before pronouncing their first decree of abundance. Only when their mind achieved perfect alignment could they speak, and when they did, the universe responded. This practice wasn't superstition, but a profound understanding of how vibrational resonance works. Consider your own life right now. What would change if you eliminated every phrase of lack from your vocabulary? What might happen if each morning, instead of complaining about what's missing, you declared with unwavering conviction, today money pursues me, today fortune finds me. The manuscript teaches that one word repeated with authentic faith carries more power than 1,000 scattered thoughts. It becomes pure vibration, a command that shapes reality itself. This is the hidden detonator, the word that activates everything you desire. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic. The Forbidden Book describes a specific method reserved only for those who were truly prepared, a practice known as the 5-day ritual. This wasn't arbitrary, but a precise formula for implanting an irreversible command for wealth directly into the subconscious mind. Why 5 days specifically? The manuscript explains that the number 5 symbolizes movement, expansion, and liberation. It represents the numerical frequency that opens the doors of transformation. During this sacred period, the initiate would repeat their chosen detonator word, not just any word, but one that filled their heart with absolute certainty at specific times during the day. The process unfolds with mathematical precision. On day 1, the planting, you pronounce your chosen word or phrase with clarity, feeling as if it's already fulfilled. On day 2, the root, you repeat it 3 times upon waking and 3 times before sleeping while visualizing wealth moving toward you. Day 3, the sprout, brings emotion into the equation, imagining how you'll smile upon receiving what you've requested, feeling it in your body. Day 4, the team's fire involves writing your word on paper and carrying it with you like a talisman. Finally, on day 5, the manifestation, you pronounce it with a firm voice while looking at your reflection, declaring that you're already the magnet that attracts everything. The power of this ritual doesn't lie in mechanical repetition, but in emotional intensity. The word provides the spark, but emotion supplies the fuel. When these elements unite, your subconscious mind has no choice. It accepts this new programming as reality and begins manifesting it in your external world. If something within you is resonating with this ancient wisdom about the power of words, write in the comments, "I activate my word." Now let me warn you about a dangerous word that can instantly shut down the flow of abundance in your life. Now let me warn you about a dangerous word that can instantly shut down the flow of abundance in your life. Not everything you say draws wealth toward you. While certain words open doors, others slam them shut. In the most concealed pages of this forbidden book, the initiate received a warning about a silent danger, the prohibited word. This wasn't about some dark incantation or mystical term. It referred to something far simpler, yet infinitely more destructive. This word, when spoken with conviction and belief, has the power to block all flows of prosperity instantly. The text described it as an invisible wall erected before anyone who repeats it. What is this word that carries such devastating power? I can't. The manuscript delivers this revelation with startling directness. One who declares "I can't" signs their own sentence of scarcity. Each syllable becomes a direct command to the subconscious to close the door. Consider this profound insight. Every time you utter "I can't save money, I can't get out of debt, I can't earn more," you're not merely expressing an opinion. You're issuing a binding directive, and your mind obediently follows without questioning. The contrast couldn't be more striking. On one side, we have the detonator word that opens rivers of energy and attracts abundance. On the other, we have the prohibited word that dries the spring from its roots. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this explains why so many sincere efforts at prosperity fail before they begin. They're sabotaged by this seemingly innocent phrase that carries the power to nullify all positive intention. The ancient wisdom keepers taught a simple but transformative technique. Never pronounce this phrase. If it appeared in your thoughts, they instructed you to immediately substitute it with "I haven't yet, but I'm on the way." This slight shift in language alters your entire trajectory. The revelation here is stunning in its simplicity. Money doesn't flee because it doesn't exist. It flees because you push it away with your own words. The manuscript reveals an unsettling truth about the mechanics of manifestation. The universe doesn't distinguish between fact and fiction. It merely receives the command you pronounce with certainty. Your words aren't describing reality, they're creating it. The journey toward transformation begins when you realize that "I can't" has never been a truth, but a decision, one you can unmake at any moment. Imagine the profound shift that might occur if, after years of declaring limitation, you decided to permanently delete this phrase from your vocabulary. You might discover that it was never the money turning its back on you. It was always you who unconsciously repelled it. Words carry an energetic signature that ripples out from you, creating either harmony or dissonance with what you seek to attract. The initiate was taught to listen carefully to their own speech, noting how often limitation appeared disguised as innocent description. "I'm broke. That's too expensive. I never have enough." All variations of the prohibited word carrying the same destructive power. The key insight that transforms lives is recognizing that these aren't mere descriptions of your current reality, but active instructions shaping your future experience. Your words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of universal intelligence. What harvest do you expect when you're planting limitation? The Forbidden Book suggests a powerful exercise. For 5 days, commit to eliminating all forms of the prohibited word from your speech. When you catch yourself about to say, "I can't," pause and restructure your statement to reflect possibility rather than limitation. "I'm figuring out how to," "I'm in the process of," or "I'm learning to." This isn't semantic trickery, but a fundamental recalibration of your relationship with possibility. This revelation isn't just about optimistic thinking, it's about aligning your verbal vibration with what you seek to create, rather than what you fear. The words that flow from your lips aren't just sounds, they're architectural blueprints for your reality. If you're ready to remove the prohibited word from your vocabulary, write in the comments, "I delete I can't from my life." Now, let me show you how a secret symbol acts as an invisible lock that keeps the door of prosperity permanently open. Now, let me show you how a secret symbol acts as an invisible lock that keeps the door of prosperity permanently open. The Forbidden Manuscript reveals another powerful dimension of manifestation. What the word initiates, the symbol seals. To write it is to fix energy in matter. This cryptic passage points to a profound truth. While spoken words open the doorway to abundance, something else is required to keep that door from closing again. This secret component is what the ancients called the hidden symbol of abundance. The text explains that your detonator word opens the door, but the symbol acts as the invisible lock that maintains it open even when challenges arise or doubt attempts to creep back in. Why a symbol? Because the mind doesn't think only in phrases, it thinks in images, and what is encoded as imagery imprints itself far more rapidly and deeply in the subconscious. The journey toward transformation requires not just eliminating negative phrases, but replacing them with empowering alternatives. When you catch yourself about to say, "I can't," pause and consciously shift to, "Not yet, but I'm on my way." This small linguistic adjustment carries immense power because it acknowledges your current position while simultaneously affirming movement toward your destination. It keeps the path open rather than building a wall across it. This reframing practice is more than positive thinking, it's energetic realignment. Each time you replace a limiting statement with one that acknowledges possibility, you're literally rewiring the neural pathways that govern your relationship with abundance. The decisions you make in these small moments accumulate into dramatic shifts in your manifestation abilities. The hidden symbol works alongside this verbal transformation, creating a visual anchor for your prosperity consciousness. According to the manuscript, the initiate was instructed to create or discover a personal seal that represented their wealth. It didn't matter whether this symbol was a spiral, a key, a sun, or a circle with a central point. What mattered was that the symbol resonated deeply, vibrating with the emotional frequency of abundance. The ancient wisdom keepers recommended drawing this symbol on paper at dawn and keeping it in your wallet, on your nightstand, or even tracing it on your palm. This symbol then became a constant reminder that money was already in motion toward you. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this practice wasn't superstition, but profound psychological programming. Each time you glimpsed your symbol, your brain formed associations with wealth, opportunity, and expansion. The text reveals that this symbol serves as a compass for the initiate. When doubts arose or challenges appeared, a glance at their personal seal reminded them that they were under a covenant with the universe, a signal that they could not turn back from the path of prosperity they had chosen. The insight here transforms how you maintain your focus. Your symbol becomes a touchstone that instantly realigns you with abundance consciousness whenever you encounter it. Try this revealing exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and allow a symbol of wealth to appear in your mind's eye. Don't analyze or judge it. Simply accept the first image that emerges. That symbol has been selected by your deeper consciousness as the perfect representation of your relationship with prosperity. Trust it, even if it seems unusual or unexpected. What makes this practice so powerful is how it bypasses the rational mind to communicate directly with your subconscious. The manuscript suggests something truly remarkable, that money itself has its own secret language, and symbols are the alphabet through which it communicates. Your personal seal creates a bridge between your conscious intentions and the invisible realm where manifestation begins. Imagine creating this symbol today and keeping it close. You might notice opportunities beginning to align themselves like puzzle pieces that previously seemed impossible to connect. The symbol acts as a constant energetic broadcast, maintaining the frequency of abundance even when your conscious attention is elsewhere. If you're ready to create your personal prosperity symbol, write in the comments, "I claim my symbol of abundance." Now let me reveal the invisible timepiece that governs the perfect timing of your manifestations. Now let me reveal the invisible timepiece that governs the perfect timing of your manifestations. The Forbidden Book reveals a principle that transforms our relationship with time itself. Nothing arrives too early. Nothing arrives too late. Wealth always obeys the secret rhythm of the universe. This hidden insight explains one of the greatest mysteries of manifestation, why prosperity often appears at unexpected moments, following a timeline that seems to defy our plans. The manuscript unveils a disquieting truth. Time is neither enemy nor ally, but a hidden code. It explains that most people grow desperate because they believe money should manifest immediately after they request it. When this doesn't happen, doubt creeps in, and that doubt essentially cancels the original command. But the text insists, "Gold moves like the tides in exact waves, never hurried." This means that each declaration, each detonator word, each symbol begins vibrating in the invisible field, and that vibration needs to travel through its own unique cycle before materializing in physical form. Not a second before, not a second after. The ancient wisdom keepers called this phenomenon the invisible clock of abundance. Not a clock with hands, but a cosmic timepiece, a sacred machinery that synchronizes thoughts, opportunities, and people until they perfectly align. Imagine a vast underground river. You cast a seed into its current, but it doesn't flower instantly. It must travel, be nourished, and await the perfect season. Wealth operates in precisely the same way, invisible for a time, yet inevitable when its moment arrives. The manuscript offered this caution to the initiate. The impatient one digs their own ruin. The patient one becomes king. This revelation completely transforms your relationship with the manifestation process. Every time you anxiously ask, "Why hasn't it arrived yet?" you're essentially doubting the invisible clock, and that doubt delays the tide. The secret, then, isn't to question when, but to declare with certainty, it's on its way. Because when your mind stops measuring time, the universe paradoxically accelerates the cycle. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this understanding explains why forcing outcomes rarely works, while aligned patience often yields results beyond imagination. The journey toward transformation requires developing a relationship with time that transcends conventional thinking. Most operate from a place of desperate urgency, a vibrational state that actually pushes prosperity away rather than drawing it closer. Consider your own experience. How many times have you believed nothing was happening when, in fact, the invisible clock was already moving all the pieces into perfect position? What might shift if, starting today, you surrendered to this cosmic timing, trusting that your wealth already has its arrival date scheduled? The hidden wisdom here isn't about passive waiting, but active allowing. It's recognizing that between your clear intention and its physical manifestation lies a gestation period, a necessary interval during which all elements are being orchestrated in ways your conscious mind couldn't possibly coordinate. This perspective liberates you from the anxiety that often sabotages manifestation just before completion. Try this perspective-shifting exercise. Think of something you're currently waiting to manifest. Now, rather than focusing on its absence or wondering when it will arrive, simply acknowledge the invisible clock is already moving this toward me. Everything is being perfectly timed. Feel the immediate relief this brings, the release of resistance that actually accelerates the manifestation process. This insight changes everything about how you relate to apparent delays or obstacles. They're not failures of the process, but necessary components of it, like the pause between planting and harvesting that allows roots to develop unseen beneath the soil. The manifestation of wealth follows natural laws that can't be rushed, only aligned with. The decision to trust the invisible clock marks a profound shift in consciousness, from demanding to allowing, from controlling to collaborating with universal timing. This trust doesn't mean surrendering your desires. It means surrendering your attachment to how and when they arrive. If you're ready to align with the perfect timing of your manifestations, write in the comments, "I trust the invisible clock." Now, let me reveal the mysterious guardian you must face before claiming your treasure. Now let me reveal the mysterious guardian you must face before claiming your treasure. The Forbidden Book unveils a profound truth about the path to prosperity. No one crosses the threshold of abundance without first facing the guardian who protects it. The manuscript speaks of an enigmatic figure, invisible to physical eyes, yet impossible to bypass, the guardian of the treasure. This guardian isn't some external demon or adversary from outside yourself. It's something far more intimate and revealing, your own shadow reflection. What does this cryptic revelation mean? Simply this: before receiving wealth, life always positions a test, an obstacle, an unexpected setback or crisis. This guardian's sole purpose is to verify whether your faith is authentic or merely a passing whim. The text explains it with striking clarity. The guardian of the treasure doesn't steal. It only asks, "Are you ready?" And your response comes not through words but through actions. If you abandon your path at the first obstacle, the guardian closes the door. If you persist with unwavering certainty, it steps aside and allows you passage. Consider this scenario that illuminates the guardian's role in your journey. You've activated your detonator word, drawn your personal symbol, and placed your trust in the invisible clock. Then suddenly, an unexpected expense appears, a debt resurfaces, or an opportunity vanishes. Many people at this critical juncture exclaim, "I knew it wouldn't work." By making this declaration, they essentially sign their surrender papers. But those who understand the deeper mechanics of manifestation recognize a profound truth. This apparent setback isn't failure, but the test itself. It's the guardian manifesting to measure your resolve. The transformation happens when you realize that obstacles aren't signs of the process failing, but confirmation that it's working exactly as designed. Behind the scenes of your manifestation journey, This explains one of the most perplexing aspects of prosperity consciousness, why challenges often intensify right before breakthrough. It's not coincidence or cruel fate, it's the necessary examination that determines who passes through the doorway and who remains outside. The manuscript illuminates this principle with a powerful metaphor. The guardian of the treasure is like the final wave before reaching shore. If you swim against it, you drown. If you move through it, it pushes you onto the beach. This insight transforms your relationship with obstacles entirely. Rather than viewing challenges as evidence that manifestation isn't working, you recognize them as confirmation that you're on the threshold of receiving. The journey toward transformation requires honest self-reflection. How many times have you abandoned ship just before reaching harbor? How often have you confused the test with failure? The revelation that changes everything is recognizing that the guardian wasn't denying you anything. It was simply ensuring you were prepared to sustain what you were about to receive. Try this perspective-shifting exercise. Think about a recent setback in your financial life. Now, instead of viewing it as evidence that abundance is moving away from you, reframe it as the guardian testing your resolve. Ask yourself, what if this challenge isn't an obstacle but an opportunity to demonstrate my unshakable faith? This single shift in perception can transform apparent roadblocks into stepping stones. The decision to maintain your declarations, visualizations, and certainty, despite external evidence to the contrary, marks a pivotal moment in your manifestation journey. It's where mere wishful thinking transforms into genuine prosperity consciousness. The Guardian's test reveals who truly believes and who merely hoped. What makes this insight so powerful is how it explains the mysterious timing of abundance. Many people give up precisely when they're one step away from breakthrough, interpreting the Guardian's appearance as failure rather than the final checkpoint before success. The manuscript offers this wisdom. Those who withstand the storm find that after it passes, wealth arrives multiplied. If you're beginning to recognize how this guardian principle has been operating in your own life, write in the comments, "I pass the Guardian's test." Now let me show you how to recognize the hidden signals that confirm your wealth is already on its way to you. Now let me show you how to recognize the hidden signals that confirm your wealth is already on its way to you. The Forbidden Book reveals an extraordinary insight that changes how you perceive the path to abundance. The universe never delivers without first announcing. Signals are the secret voice of prosperity. The manuscript assures us that before wealth materializes in physical form, life begins sending hidden announcements, subtle cues that only the awakened mind can recognize. These aren't superstitions, but an invisible language that the initiate learns to interpret with precision. The journey toward transformation requires developing a heightened awareness of these subtle indicators, like learning to read a map that most never realize exists. The first category of signs begins within you. The manuscript describes internal signals that often precede external manifestation, a sudden, unexplained shift in your emotional state, an inexplicable confidence that emerges despite unchanged external circumstances, a peculiar calm that descends even while apparent chaos continues around you. The text states this principle clearly. When you feel serenity amid turbulence, abundance has already been dispatched. This revelation explains why your emotional state often shifts before your physical reality does. It's responding to energetic changes that haven't yet materialized but are already in motion. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this is why maintaining awareness of your internal landscape provides such valuable intelligence about what's approaching. Following these internal signals, external confirmations begin to appear. You might suddenly overhear conversations about money or prosperity in unexpected places. Perhaps you find coins on the street, what many dismiss as coincidence, the initiate recognizes as small acknowledgements from the universe. You might receive invitations, new contacts, or information that seems random, but actually opens hidden pathways. The ancient wisdom keepers called this the inner map because the true indication wasn't the external sign itself, but what it awakened within you when you noticed it. The manuscript gives clear instructions. Don't ignore these signals. Each one functions like a marker on a trail. Those who follow them reach their destination. Those who dismiss them lose their way. What makes this revelation so powerful is how it challenges conventional thinking about manifestation. Many abandon their faith because they expect wealth to arrive as a dramatic event, a sudden windfall, or massive opportunity. But the text cautions that prosperity first arrives as a whisper, a clue, a partially opened door. The transformation happens when you recognize that these subtle indicators aren't random but meaningful communications, confirming that invisible forces are already responding to your declarations. Consider your recent experiences. Have you dismissed finding a coin as meaningless coincidence? Have you overlooked an unexpected phone call discussing a project as random chance? The manuscript suggests these aren't accidents, but fragments of a code being revealed to you. What might change if you began collecting these signals, recognizing them as confirmation that the universe is responding? The decision to become fluent in this hidden language marks a significant evolution in your manifestation journey. It's the difference between walking blindly and navigating with a map that reveals the invisible landscape of opportunity surrounding you. Try this perception-shifting exercise. For the next 3 days, maintain a small journal of potential signs, both internal feelings and external coincidences that might be indicating prosperity in motion. Don't analyze or judge them, simply record them with curiosity. This practice trains your awareness to recognize patterns that most overlook. What makes these signals so valuable isn't just confirmation, but timing. They often arrive during periods when nothing seems to be happening externally, precisely when most people abandon their faith. Yet these quiet intervals are often when the most powerful arrangements are being orchestrated behind the scenes. The manuscript offers this wisdom. Many leave the path because they expect gold in a sack, but prosperity first arrives as a murmur, a hint, a door left slightly ajar. This insight fundamentally shifts how you relate to the manifestation process, from demanding immediate, complete results to recognizing the subtle indicators that confirm you're on the right path. If you're beginning to notice these hidden announcements in your own life, write in the comments, "I see the signs." Now, let me reveal why gratitude might be the most powerful magnetic force you can activate, even more potent than ambition or desire. Now, let me reveal why gratitude might be the most powerful magnetic force you can activate, even more potent than ambition or desire. The Forbidden Book points to a revelation that transforms the entire foundation of manifestation practice. Nothing attracts more swiftly than gratitude, not for what is missing, but for what already vibrates with you. The manuscript isn't describing ordinary gratitude, the kind expressed automatically after receiving some food. The profound art of giving thanks, not after the miracle, but before it visibly manifests. Can you feel the subtle, yet revolutionary difference? Saying thank you after receiving is simply courtesy, but expressing gratitude before receiving, that's nothing short of alchemical magic. The manuscript illuminates this principle with a powerful metaphor. Mystical gratitude is like lighting a torch in darkness. It naturally draws toward you everything seeking your light. The ancient practitioners engaged in this transformative ritual each morning. Upon opening their eyes, they would give thanks as if gold already filled their hands, as if abundance already overflowed their homes. They didn't petition or plead, they celebrated. This distinction marks the boundary between ordinary manifestation and mastery of universal law. The text delivers this insight with striking clarity. One who gives thanks amid scarcity transforms scarcity into abundance. One who complains amid abundance transforms abundance into scarcity. This immutable law operates with mathematical precision in every life, without exception. Imagine this scenario that illuminates the power of preemptive gratitude. You awaken tomorrow morning and before checking your accounts or reviewing your financial obligations, you close your eyes and declare, "Thank you, because money already pursues me. Thank you because everything flows to me. Thank you because nothing is lacking." In that precise moment, your vibrational frequency shifts, and what vibrates attracts its corresponding reality. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this practice performs a remarkable feat. It collapses time. By thanking for what hasn't yet physically manifested, you're acknowledging its existence on an energetic level, which is where all creation begins. The manuscript emphasizes that mystical gratitude doesn't merely accelerate prosperity, it makes it inevitable because you're sending the universe a definitive order. It is already accomplished. The journey toward transformation requires understanding a profound truth that contradicts conventional thinking. You don't chase prosperity. Prosperity chases you when your internal vibration aligns with its frequency. Gratitude creates this alignment more powerfully than any other practice because it immediately shifts you from lack to fullness, from wanting to having, from seeking to finding. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic. The manuscript reveals another enigma that entraps most seekers of abundance, what it calls the double door. This revelation explains why so many sincere efforts at manifestation produce disappointing results. Abundance does not reside behind a single door, but two. The first is opened by desire, the second by faith. This cryptic passage contains a profound insight. Desire alone is insufficient. It's merely the initial key that grants access to the antechamber of prosperity. Behind that first threshold lies another door, deeper, invisible, accessible only through unwavering faith. What does this mean for your manifestation journey? It reveals why simply wanting money, asking for it, or even declaring it often falls short. Desire provides the essential spark that initiates the journey. But without faith, the absolute certainty that transcends physical evidence, the second door remains sealed. The manuscript states with unflinching clarity, many reach the first door and believe they've arrived, but without faith, the second door never yields. This is why so many remain trapped in the middle. They dream, visualize, but doubt. And doubt is the strongest lock that exists. This explains the fundamental difference between those who consistently manifest prosperity and those who experience occasional inconsistent results. The first group has mastered opening both doors. The second remains perpetually caught in the anteroom of abundance, never quite reaching the treasury itself. The ancient wisdom keepers taught a simple but powerful ritual. Whenever doubt appeared, the initiate would silently repeat, "The second door has already opened." This affirmation sealed faith in the subconscious and dismantled the trap of uncertainty. If you're recognizing how these two doors have been operating in your manifestation journey, write in the comments, "I'm walking through both doors." Now let me reveal how each word you speak creates an echo that continues to shape your reality long after you've forgotten uttering it. Now, let me reveal how each word you speak creates an echo that continues to shape your reality long after you've forgotten uttering it. The Forbidden Manuscript unveils a principle that fundamentally transforms how we understand the power of speech. Every word pronounced continues living, though the world believes it has vanished. This isn't poetic language, but a precise description of energetic reality. Each time you speak, you launch vibrations that embed themselves in the invisible fabric of the universe, continuing to reverberate and eventually returning to you multiplied. The text delivers this revelation with stunning clarity. Poverty and wealth aren't born from coins, but from words. A person who consistently repeats phrases like, "I don't have enough," or "it's too difficult," or "I never achieve my goals," activates an echo that pursues them like a shadow. Conversely, one who declares, "Money pursues me, I am abundance. Everything flows toward me," creates a luminous echo that finds them with equal persistence. Think of these echoes as arrows. Once released, they don't stop until reaching their target. This explains why the manuscript cautions, "Guard what you pronounce in secret, for these words are decrees engraved in stone." Your casual complaints, your frustrated utterances when alone, your seemingly insignificant verbal habits, all continue reverberating long after you've forgotten speaking them. The ancient wisdom keepers practiced a powerful art. Each morning, they would release into the air phrases charged with absolute certainty. They weren't concerned with whether anyone heard them. Their intention was for the universe to register these declarations. They understood that these echoes would inevitably return, sometimes within days, sometimes years, but always with mathematical precision. Imagine an infinite valley. You shout a word, and the echo returns, always faithful, always exact. This is precisely how your inner voice operates. The profound question that transforms your relationship with abundance becomes, what echoes have you launched that are still returning to you? What vibrational patterns have you established through years of unconscious speech? The manuscript concludes this teaching with a powerful insight. One who learns to direct their echo governs their destiny. One who allows their echo to remain chaotic lives trapped in their own noise. This revelation places tremendous power and responsibility in your hands. Your words aren't merely expressing your reality, they're creating it. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic. The forbidden knowledge reveals another dimension of prosperity consciousness that transcends even the power of echoes. It introduces what the ancients called the eternal connection, recognizing that what is truly real within you cannot die, cannot be lost, cannot disappear. This profound teaching suggests that fear of failure, anxiety about the future, anguish over the past, all dissolve when you recognize yourself as part of the eternal. Consider this perspective-shifting question. How much of what worries you today will matter in 10 years? In 100 years? In 1,000? Almost nothing. Yet what does remain is the energetic frequency you choose to cultivate now, the vibration that transcends and continuously creates your experience. The master teacher affirms, one who connects with the eternal masters, the temporal. This cryptic statement contains a revolutionary insight. When you cease struggling against the clock, against urgency, against the fear of insufficient time, you discover that you possess all power in this present moment. The eternal now becomes the gateway to all creation. This revelation completely transforms your relationship with prosperity. When you identify with the temporal, limited self, you approach abundance from a place of desperate scarcity, like a beggar terrified of losing the few coins they've managed to gather. But when you connect with the eternal within, you recognize yourself as an extension of the infinite creative force, a being for whom abundance isn't a temporary condition, but your natural state. Imagine a river. The water you see flowing before you seems unique, yet it's infinite because its source never ceases. Prosperity functions the same way. What you currently possess isn't all that exists. It's merely one wave in an endless ocean. When you truly grasp this principle, your attachment dissolves, and paradoxically, the flow of wealth increases even further. If you're beginning to sense this eternal connection within yourself, write in the comments, "I am connected to the infinite source." Now let me reveal how the ancient art of alchemy can transform invisible energy into tangible gold in your life. Now let me reveal how the ancient art of alchemy can transform invisible energy into tangible gold in your life. The forbidden manuscript unveils a mystery the ancients called alchemy, not the laboratory version with furnaces and metals, but the true transformation that occurs first in mind and spirit. This hidden wisdom reveals that what supports the visible always begins as invisible, that all tangible wealth first existed as an intangible spark of imagination. The profound revelation that transforms your entire approach to manifestation is this: most people attempt to change their external reality first, exhausting themselves through physical effort, without understanding that gold is manufactured in consciousness before appearing in circumstance. Your mind is the laboratory, your faith is the fire, your emotions are the mercury that dissolves and transforms. Look carefully at your life circumstances right now. Every result you're experiencing, whether abundance or lack, began as a persistent thought pattern. This wasn't coincidence or random chance. It was mental alchemy in action. When you consistently think in limitation and repeat these thoughts with conviction, you crystallize poverty. When you focus on expansion and charge these thoughts with passionate emotion, you crystallize wealth. The material world obeys the spiritual. This is the immutable law. The invisible always commands the visible. Here lies your true power, the ability to consciously select which ideas take root in your mental laboratory. With consistent practice, these seeds transform into tangible manifestations that others perceive as luck or good fortune. Your thought patterns function as a secret formula. When you blend gratitude with unwavering faith and inspired action, the inevitable result is abundance. When you mix fear with doubt and resignation, the result is limitation. The formula never fails because the universe responds with mathematical precision to the original vibration. Behind the scenes of transformation, the critical factor that separates masters from novices is patience during the alchemical process. Like the ancient alchemist who heated their mixture with steady flame, you must maintain your vision with unwavering confidence even when external circumstances haven't yet changed. That moment of sustained faith creates the invisible bridge that transforms the intangible into tangible reality. Consider this illuminating truth. Everything you possess today, your clothing, finances, home, even your relationships, once existed only as invisible potential. Someone conceived it, held it in their consciousness, and subsequently it materialized in physical form. This same creative force operates within you right now, awaiting your conscious direction. The Forbidden Book makes a stunning declaration. True gold isn't stored in banks or vaults, but in your spirit's capacity to transform nothingness into everything. That is the authentic art of alchemy, recognizing that the invisible realm is more substantial than the visible world it generates. The transformation in your prosperity consciousness begins when you shift from manipulating external circumstances to mastering internal vibration. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic. The manuscript concludes with the most profound revelation of all, one that completely inverts conventional understanding of manifestation. The ultimate secret isn't to attract abundance, but to become abundance itself. You are not a seeker of wealth, but the very source that generates it. Imagine a mirror for a moment. Throughout your life, you've used it to view a limited reflection, your physical appearance, your fears, your personal history. But behind that mirror lies a doorway, and when you dare to step through it, you discover something astonishing. What you thought was merely your reflection was actually the face of a world creator. This is the final mystery. Abundance isn't achieved through external effort, but through complete union between your inner being and the universal force. When separation dissolves, the universe doesn't respond to you anymore, because you are the universe responding. Like a spark that seems fragile until it reunites with the eternal flame and becomes inextinguishable, you are a divine fragment that, upon recognizing its connection to the infinite source, burns without end. Today, the illusion of scarcity collapses. You recognize that nothing was ever lacking because what you've been seeking has always been pulsing within you. You are wealth, you are the wellspring, you are both the key and the door. The journey ends where it began, in the recognition that you were never separate from what you sought. If you've experienced a shift in consciousness while hearing these words, write in the comments, "I am the source of abundance." Now let me show you how this recognition transforms not just your prosperity, but your entire experience of reality itself. Now, let me show you how this recognition transforms not just your prosperity, but your entire experience of reality itself. The journey we've taken together through these ancient secrets isn't just about financial transformation. It's about awakening to who you truly are. When you recognize yourself as the source rather than the seeker, everything changes. Your relationship with money becomes an expression of your inner abundance rather than a desperate chase for external validation. I've shared these forbidden teachings because they were meant to find those who are ready, those who sense there's a deeper reality behind the veil of conventional thinking. If you've stayed with me until this point, you're clearly one of those people. There's a resonance happening right now that isn't coincidence. This knowledge doesn't belong to me. It belongs to anyone courageous enough to apply it. If these principles have sparked something within you, a recognition or remembrance of your true nature, I'd love to know. Take a moment to write, "This knowledge has found me," in the comments below. I create these revelations because I believe transformative wisdom should be accessible to everyone ready to receive it. If you've found value in what we've explored today, consider subscribing to join our community of conscious creators. Each video builds upon these principles, taking you deeper into the art of manifestation and prosperity consciousness. Before you go, if this message resonated with you, let me know with a simple like. It's not just a click, it's an energetic acknowledgement that we're walking this path of awakening together. I've prepared another revelation that expands on what we've discovered today, a video that explores how to maintain your prosperity consciousness even when facing the Guardian's most challenging tests. Click right here and continue this journey with me. The next doorway is already open.